Hi everyone, we are Vasiliki Tsaknaki, Stina Hasse Jørgensen and Jonas Fritsch, and we will present our paper LYDSPOR, an urban sound experience weaving together past and present through vibrating bodies. And we do this on behalf of our co-author Karin Ryding. We're all working at the IT University of Copenhagen, located in Denmark. The research we present here is the result of a 2-year-long project focused on designing site-specific sonic installations to create affective experiences in public space in the context of cultural heritage dissemination. The LYDSPOR, which means Sonic Traces project, was on display in Elsinore for 1.5 months in the summer of 2022. The project was carried out in the Affective Interactions and Relations Lab at ITU in collaboration with CATCH, the Center for Art, Design and Technology, ByLab, which is part of the municipality of Elsinore, and the City Museum.
LYDSPOR is an urban sound experience that allows people to feel and sense fragments of stories from the 16th and 17th century in the present city of Elsinore, and consists of 3 parts. The first one, sanden, meaning the sand, is a physical installation located at the harbor. It has transducers embedded in a physical sculpture, playing a soundscape that can be listened to and felt as vibrations when walking in or sitting at the installation. It tells the story of the area sanden that was a diaspora community existing for 100 years. The second one is Karmeliterhuset, a physical installation located outside the Elsinore City Museum. It uses transducers to convey both human and more than human sounds that could have been heard in the house 500 years ago. The building has been a hospital for foreign sailors, a horse mill, a noble residence, and a poor house. The third one is Hestemøllestræde. It is an app-based soundwalk from the harbor to where the museum is located, and in that way connecting the 2 physical installations. iBeacons and custom designs app give the sonic sense of what it was like to walk in the streets of Elsinore 500 years ago via monologues, dialogues and background sounds.
Our work both stems from and further advances research within soma design and affective interaction design. Soma design is a theoretical concept and a practical methodological approach in HCI, and when engaging with soma design methods, researchers use their own bodies and experiences for slowly shaping an interactive artifact or system, taking on all the roles, that of the designer, the researcher and the end user. Through this project, we aim to extend soma design methods, aiming to account for a plurality of bodies and bodily experiences, moving from an individual to a collective experience of human and more than human bodies in public space. To do that, we have drawn on the way affect has been conceptualized in the affective turn within the humanities, and how this has been explored under the heading of affective interaction design. The notion of affect presented here builds on the work of Spinoza, who defines affect as an ability of bodies to affect and be affected. Affect arises in the midst of in-betweenness, as those intensities that pass body to body, human, non-human, part body and otherwise. Inspired by this proposition, we entered a soma design process with an idea of bodies as being always multiple and relational, and never only human.
2 main research questions were driving our work. 1. How can we develop site-specific designs with a focus on human and more than human bodies in the context of cultural heritage dissemination? And 2. How can we use sonic augmentation and an embodied approach to listening to achieve this? To activate the relational bodily space through soma design tactics, we developed a set of sensitizing exercises, progressively moving from a first person to a collective experience of human and more than human bodies. We conducted 3 workshops over a time span of 3 months, and each workshop lasted for an average of 2 hours. The exercises consisted of a breathing meditation, an attunement to other material bodies in the urban space through touching, listening and breathing towards surrounding bodies such as moss, stones and bricks. And then an attunement to spatiality by zooming out and becoming attentive to larger structures in the environment.
A strong focus in this project has been to decenter the human perspective by focusing on the more than human world through sounds, narratives, as well as through physical and affective encounters, including stones, plants, buildings and animals, also enabled when interacting with the installations. We designed the sonic experiences in a way that invited people to attend to small-scale as well as large-scale bodies existing in the space, and to bring attention to one's own and to other bodies through sounds, narratives, vibrations, movements and body postures. We also use sonic augmentation and the vibrational feeling of sounds through the body to interweave layers of the past and the present, providing a narrative space that activated the historical elements into the present location which they are related to.
Insights from the sensitizing workshops have influenced the other parts of the design process, including testing physical and digital materials in the lab and on-site, and slowly giving form and shape to the site-specific experiences. Here, we'll present in more detail the experience of the Zen installation. The installation is an asymmetrical open wooden box inspired by the shape of the settlement. There is a seating space all around the box and a small staircase to enter inside. Underneath the floor of the box and under the seats, we mounted several large transducers connected to an amplifier and an MP3 player. A sound file is looping, creating vibrations in the wooden structure and delivering a soundscape that can be heard from a few meters away. The insides of the box contain sandy soil and a few plants, and people are invited to interact using their bodies in different ways. They can sit, stand, lay down, or touch. The installation tells the story of the land from the time before the settlement as well as after its annihilation.
We have conducted testing sessions with 12 participants. There were 3 areas that we wanted to unfold further as part of the testing. 1, the site specificity. 2, a focus on the human and the more than human bodies. And 3, a dissemination of cultural heritage. In the paper, you can read more about the findings from the testing session.
Reflecting on our design process and outcomes, our contributions focus on our approach to cultural heritage dissemination and how we have extended soma design to allow for a broader understanding of the body, which includes the more than human. Firstly, we contribute with a sonic, bodily and site-specific approach to cultural heritage dissemination. Our designs work to defamiliarize the sites and their histories, and we believe this allowed for participants to reorient themselves in relation to the sites.
Second, we contribute by extending soma design methods to also account for more than human bodies in design processes through affect. Our decision to work with sound helped to further emphasize this approach. Using transducers that emit vibrations was a way of exploring sound as energy that can move through and between different materials and bodies. Sound indeed is a form of vibrational affect that creates resonance. We therefore believe that we in this paper offer an example of a project that explored decentering as a horizon. This means that as design researchers we should acknowledge and involve more than human entities in our work, at the same time as we continuously reflect on and question whether our projects have succeeded in decentering the human perspective. We invite you to read our paper, and thanks so much for listening.